Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and yeah, it's been a little while since I have made a video. I haven't made a video for about 2 weeks now. But yeah, the reason why I haven't made a video for a little while is because I've had to do some thinking about these next two videos that I'm doing. What this is going to be about is wrestling video games. Yeah, because there is quite a lot of wrestling video games. I mean, yeah, it goes back to the 80s, even back to the original Nintendo Entertainment System. There's been tons of wrestling video games made ever since those days on pretty much every console that's come out since then. And yeah, of course, throughout the years, we've gotten some really great wrestling video games, and we've also gotten some that have been pretty bad as well. And so what I've decided to do is I've decided to count down what I think the top 10 best and the top 10 worst wrestling video games are. And I'm going to do separate videos for each one. This video is going to be for the top 10 best wrestling games, and then my next video is going to be the top 10 worst wrestling video games. Yeah. Because over the years, I of course have played a lot of wrestling video games, and I have liked a lot of them, and there also have been some that I have really hated. So I've decided to just just think it through and just just sum up what I think the top 10 best and the top 10 worst wrestling video games are. So for this video, this is going to be for the top 10 best wrestling video games, the ones that I really do have really love playing, and which ones I really do think are the best ones overall. Now, of course, I haven't actually played every single wrestling video game that's ever been made. I really haven't played too many of the older ones, ones for the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, and ones like that. I really started playing wrestling games around during the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 era, and then have played them more on the following consoles like the PS2 and the GameCube, the Xbox, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, but even then, there are games on those systems that I really haven't played much either, or haven't really played. I haven't really played I've never actually played Smackdown Just Bring It, and there are some other games like that which I haven't really played. I also haven't really played a lot of the more recent wrestling games, the WWE 2K video games, and I also haven't played games Legends of Wrestlemania, and I didn't really play that WWE All Stars game. And I think I only played it once when I rented it or something. So yeah, and even that was a long time ago. So yeah, so I haven't really played every single wrestling video game in history, but yeah, I have played a quite a bit of them, and throughout the years. And so yeah, I just decided to narrow it down to games that I have played, and have just gone through them and just decide which ones I really think are the best and the worst ones ever. So yeah, for this list, this is going to be my picks for the top 10 best wrestling video games. So yeah, and yeah, I also try whenever I do stuff like this, I try to make it just a game per franchise. But with lists like this, or specifically with this one, that's kind of harder to do because there have been a lot of games made for a specific wrestling game series that have been really good, particularly the Smackdown game series, because throughout the years there have been there's been several great games in the Smackdown series. So yeah, just picking one per franchise, particularly for that series, it was kind of hard to do. So yeah, I decided I was not really gonna go by the one game per franchise rule, and just count down what I think the best ones are. So yeah, in this list particularly, there'll be quite a few Smackdown games in this list. But yeah, there will be games in this list for other specific other certain game series as well. So yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I think I've already like 5 minutes into this video. So yeah, let me just get started. And so yeah, this is going to be what I think the top 10 best wrestling video games are. So yeah, all right. So yeah, let me just get right into the list. All right. So starting off the list at number 10 is the very first WWF Smackdown game. So yeah, I don't think I actually did play this game back when it was like originally released in 2000, but yeah, I recently just got this game. I've been looking for it for a little while, and I finally just recently found it, and I finally have gotten the chance to play it. And yeah, this really was a pretty good game. I mean, yeah, and I really did think that it was very enjoyable. I mean, it did have like some very good controls. Yeah, like back during like this time, up to the time that this game was released, there really wasn't like a whole lot of games that really did have like controls like these. I mean, there were games like yeah, particularly on the PlayStation, because yeah, there were like games like the Nitro and Thunder games. There were games like WWF Warzone and Attitude, which yeah, which didn't really have the best controls either, and yeah, didn't really have the best reception to them either. But yeah, this one was a completely different story because yeah, this game really did have like some really good controls and a pretty like good graphics for the time, like compared to like other games that were released on the PlayStation at this time. Like like this game actually did have like a pretty good upgrade when it came to graphics, and yeah, I really have enjoyed this game, and it really does have like really good controls, really good graphics, a decent number of matches on here, especially like for the time. Yeah, I mean, it has matches like a steel cage match and an I Quit match, and yeah, other types of like special types of matches like that. So yeah, yeah, and also like it does have a pretty good create a wrestler. Well, yeah, so yeah, and also like of course like this game also did like have the sequel, a SmackDown 2, Know Your Role, which I'm sure like some people may like considered also to be one of the greatest. But yeah, when it came to like it was kind of hard to choose like which one of these games to really put on this list. But I decided to go with the first SmackDown game because yeah, particularly like with SmackDown 2, while this was a really good game as well, I mean there was like one thing about it that really wasn't very good, and that was the season mode. Because yeah, I haven't actually like played through the season mode, but I've like watched reviews for SmackDown 2, and people have said how the season mode really is not very good because I'm just like it really just really does test your patience because yeah, when you're playing through the season mode, when you like skip through like other wrestlers matches, you just have always got to watch the battling meters like drain out, and yeah, and it just is like really like gets really boring. Like that takes forever to watch. So yeah, so I decided to go with the first SmackDown game for this, since like the season mode for the second game really isn't very good. Although I have heard like the season mode for this one really is kind of like have issues too, because it just seems like it never ends. It just like seems to repeat itself. But yeah, regardless, yeah, I do think that overall, due to that season mode in the second game, and plus the first game also like has shorter loading times, yeah, I do think that like that kind of does like give the first game an advantage over the second one. So yeah, overall, I do think that because of like things like that, the first game overall is the better game, but both games are good. I mean, I do like how both games, like the entrances that they have, while they aren't really like true entrances, it's just like the wrestler's entrance video is playing, and you just have like the wrestler just like walking in front of it and just like seemingly walking to the ring. So yeah, I did think that was kind of interesting. I do like how that's like the entrances they have for this game. But yeah, still like this is a really good game, and I do like enjoy playing it. And yeah, yeah, I probably still will like play this still like a whole bunch. Like I said, I just like recently got the chance to play this after I just recently found it. But yeah, I probably will just like continue to play this game a lot more, and the second one as well. Just yeah, not really go through the season. Although yeah, in the second game, like you gotta sort of play through the season mode to unlock some stuff. Of like playing through the season mode is the only way like you can get like Stone Cold and the TLC matches and certain attires and stuff. So yeah, so that's like one of the drawbacks to the game as well, that you pretty much have to play the season mode. But yeah, regardless, yeah, this isn't about the second game, this is about the first one. So yeah, the first game really is good. It has a really good roster and yeah, good controls and just, yeah, a good start for the SmackDown series. So yeah, at number 10 is the very first WWF Smackdown game for the PlayStation. Alright. At number 9 is the first SmackDown versus Raw game. So, yeah, I know that there were like people that were kind of disappointed by this game because this game was the first one to really like introduce some new features that would be like in the following of SmackDown versus Raw games. But and yeah, the features really didn't deliver. Like the voiceover feature and the online feature in particular, those like really didn't deliver too well in the game. But yeah, the gameplay itself I actually really did like. I also did like the opening video for this game, how it kind of like just went through the timeline of all the SmackDown games up to this one, and I did like that. And plus I also did like how in the for the main menu you could like choose to give it either a Raw or a SmackDown setup. I did like that, and yeah, I did think that this game was pretty good. Like the gameplay was really good. I did find it really playable, and yeah, the season mode overall was pretty good too. Even though like I said, it did like have that voiceover feature. This was the first game to have like voiceover work for the wrestlers in these games, and yeah, it wasn't done particularly well in this one. And plus, like, why didn't your character have the voiceover as well? So yeah, that's something that I really don't understand about it. But yeah, the game overall, did like really like it. I mean, yeah, this was probably like my favorite game in the SmackDown vs. Raw series. The other ones, like, uh, I did like some of them. Like, I did like SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 and 2008, 2000. Like, I did like keep up with the series, but yeah, I didn't really like get as into them as I did with the original one. So yeah. Yeah, but the gameplay in the first game I really did like, and I did like the season mode just fine. Like I wasn't really bothered too much since like the new features really didn't deliver that much because I was only like 10 when this game was released, and I wasn't really bothered by the like the voiceover work not being too good, and plus yeah, I didn't really play games online, so that really wasn't a problem for me either. But yeah, I could see why there were people that were like disappointed by it. But for me, I mean, I did like this game. Like I said, it did have like a pretty good roster in the game, and the season mode was like enjoyable to play through, and so yeah, overall, like I really couldn't find like all that much to complain about in this game. I mean, sure, they did have like its flaws, but I mean, solid gameplay and a solid season mode, and yeah, some cool new features to it. Like while the voiceover work like wasn't done particularly well, it was still like cool to hear like all the voices for the superstars in the game still. So yeah, so you can't really like say that the game is overall bad. Like it is still enjoyable to play. So yeah, at number 9 is SmackDown vs. Raw for the PlayStation 2. All right, at number 8 is the WWE Day of Reckoning game for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, before I actually do like say anything about this game, I just want to like clarify something real quick. Now, I do have like the first Day of Reckoning on this list, but the Day of Reckoning 2 game is not going to be on this list, and let me explain why. I know there are like a lot of people that do say like the second Day of Reckoning game is an improvement over the first one, and I have actually like played Day of Reckoning 2 before, but yeah, it's been like a long time since I have played Day of Reckoning 2. I haven't played it in like over a decade, so yeah, I really don't really like have a very great memory about playing it. So yeah, I really you don't really like know like how well I can really say if it is better since I haven't played it in such a long time. But yeah, I have played like the first Day of Reckoning recently, and even then I have played it like like a lot more recent than I have the second game. Like I like not like just like right now, like back when I was like a kid, like back when these games like were still like newly released, I did like play the first one more, and like more recently than the second one. So yeah, I just have like a better memory of the first Day of Reckoning. So this is why that this game is on the list and the second one is not. All right. So anyway, so getting into this game, yeah, of course, like people have really loved the Day of Reckoning series, and yeah, so do I. I mean, yeah, this is just like a really good game. I felt like this really was like the main competition for SmackDown versus Raw when it first started. Yeah, the GameCube, like their first, like when they started making wrestling games, they made like the first two of, well, they made like the two WrestleMania games they did with WrestleMania 18 and WrestleMania 19, and then I guess like this series then took it over. I'm not exactly like entirely sure why they switched from the WrestleMania series to this one, but yeah, regardless, this is still like a really good game, and I really do enjoy it. I mean, yeah, it does have like some really good controls. I mean, the first two games, like the two WrestleMania games, did have like really good controls, and yeah, this game pretty much feels the same way that like the WrestleMania 19 game did. Though, yeah, one thing that I like felt was like kind of like unusual about this game. It's like the camera angles for the matches. Like for most of wrestling games, like I know for most wrestling games, like when you're actually playing it, like with the camera angle, it is like kind of like a little bit like like the camera angles like kind of lifted up a little bit from the ring, so you can kind of see it like from an overhead point of view. Yeah, with this one, it basically is just, yeah, this game just like shows that it's pretty much like like just like a flat on angle where it's just pretty much like from a regular camera's point of view, like you just see it like from like a normal angle, and it's not like lifted it like from an aerial angle well above the ring. So yeah, that was like kind of something that this game did that really no other game really did, at least to my knowledge. Yeah, but yeah, this game was like a, yeah, this is like a really good game. I mean, it does like, while the roster is like relatively short, it did like overall did like have a pretty good selection for the time, for the roster at the time. I mean, yeah, like I said, it did have like some really good controls, and the season mode I thought was like pretty interesting. Like you play just like as a created wrestler, and it's pretty much how like you're just starting from the bottom and really just like working your way to the top to really appear on like the main shows. Yeah, it's pretty much like giving you like pretty much like a taste, or like a really showing you the process of really making it into the big time on WWE. So I do like that about this game. And plus, yeah, I do know that like the second game kind of like is a continuation from the season mode of this game, where it basically does pick up where, yeah, the season mode in like the second game really picks up where the season mode in this game ends. Yeah, I apologize about that. It's like starting to rain outside, and yeah, we're getting some thunder apparently too. So yeah, I apologize if you hear any thunder. Yeah, but yeah, still like this game is like a really good game, and I do really enjoy it a lot. A lot, yeah. So there's not really too much else I can really say about it. Just yeah, it is a pretty good game. Though yeah, this game is like missing the elimination chamber and probably some a few other matches like that. But yeah, still overall for the matches it does have in the roster and the controls, it is a really good game. So yeah, all right. So number 8 is the Day of Reckoning 1 for the GameCube. All right. At number 7 is WrestleMania 2000 for the Nintendo 64. So yeah, I got it right here. I apologize for the label being in such a rough condition. Yeah, I bought this at a used game store, and yeah, it was in this condition when I bought it. So I apologize for the rough condition that the label is in. But yeah, I don't remember actually playing this game as a kid back when like the Nintendo 64 was the console of the generation, yeah. But yeah, I was able to just get this game earlier this year and play it, and yeah, it is a pretty great game, and I really do love it. Yeah, it basically is kind of like just the WWF version of the WCW NWO Revenge game. I mean, it really just seems to be the exact same thing. It has the same graphics. The opening video for this game is like pretty similar to the opening video for WCW NWO Revenge, and Yeah, the gameplay really is like pretty much the same thing too. Like it pretty much does have like the exact same controls for the WCW NWO Revenge game. Plus, you also like have the animated referee that kind of like just pops up at various points during the match. So yeah, so yeah, I really don't know what else to say about this game because I already have talked about like the WCW and NWO Revenge game before in the past, back when I made the video counting down what I thought the five best WCW games were. So I really don't know what else I can really like say about this. Just yeah, it's a really really great game, and it is basically just like the WWF version of the WCW and NWO Revenge game. I do also know that there was also a version of this game that was released on the Game Boy Color, which I haven't actually played, but from what I've heard, it really is not very good. Which, yeah, I wouldn't really doubt that because I have played wrestling games before for like the Game Boy devices, and yeah, they really haven't been very good. So, yeah, I really would like believe that the version of this game released on the Game Boy Color isn't very good, but yeah, the Nintendo 64 version of this game is definitely like really, really great. And yeah, to this game's credit, it actually does something different than the WCW NWO Revenge game does, because during the entrances in the WCW NWO Revenge game, you don't really get like the superstars' entrance music as they come on. It's just like seems to be like just in-game music and stuff. But yeah, with this game, when you wrestlers make their entrances, it actually is like their own entrance music that plays during their entrances. So yeah, I guess that is like an improvement that this game does have over the WCW NWO Revenge game. But yeah, this is still like a really great game, and I really do love it. And I just really did wish I did own this game when I was younger. So yeah, definitely a really great game overall. So yeah, so at number 7 is the WrestleMania 2000 game for the Nintendo 64. Oh yeah, and another thing about this game is just something I find kind of unusual about this game is that while it has the WrestleMania 2000 title, it seems to really be like consistent with 1999 because yeah, the arenas in this game really seem to be like the ones from 1999. Like the WrestleMania arena, it's the WrestleMania 15 arena, and they just put like 2000 in it. And they also have like SummerSlam and King of the Ring and yeah, other stages like that. And they're like the stages for like the 1999 events. So yeah, this game seems to be consistent with 1999 and not 2000. I don't know if like this game was actually developed in 1999 and they were gonna originally release it, and for some reason they had to like put it off and decided to give it 2000 instead. I'm not really sure what, but yeah. So that's something kind of unusual about the game. But the game is still great overall. So yeah, number 7 is WrestleMania 2000 on the Nintendo 64. All right. At number 6 is WCW versus NWO World Tour for the Nintendo 64. So, yeah, I did like talk about this game also back when I did that video counting down the top 5 best WCW games. And in that video, I did say that I didn't actually remember playing this game as a kid. I didn't remember if I actually owned it, but yeah, I did get it earlier this year and I have played it. And yeah, it is a really, really awesome game. Yeah, a lot of people really do like kind of like, well, look at this game. It's kind of like an unofficial successor to the WCW versus the World game for the PlayStation. And I guess I can kind of see why people would like look at it that way. Because yeah, the gameplay on WCW versus the World, it did like seem to like be in the same style as like the games that were on the Nintendo 64, albeit like the WCW versus the World did come before. But yeah, a lot of people would probably like be more familiar with the N64 games rather than this one. So yeah, a lot of people really would like think of like World Tour as like an unofficial successor to WCW versus the World. Yeah, but yeah, I have like now played this game recently. Like I said, I did like get this game earlier this year, and I have played it, and yeah, it is a really, really, really good. Yeah, I mean, it does have like very good controls. I mean, there isn't really like any like story mode or season mode or anything. It really just comes down to like the gameplay itself. But yeah, it does have like really really good gameplay. I mean, yeah, this did come before the WCW NWO Revenge game. In the game, and yeah, it really did have like some really good controls to it. The WCW NWO Revenge game kind of like took this game and did like kind of like sort of like improve on the gameplay and the features and stuff. So yeah, but still overall, I do really like this game. I mean, it does have like a really good roster for the time it did come out, and yeah, overall, it just is a yeah, it just is like a really good game. I mean, it does have like good controls, good gameplay for the time, and just yeah, overall, I really can't find a whole lot else I can really say about it. Just overall, it is a good game. So yeah. So at number 6 is WCW versus NWO World Tour. All right. At number 5 is SmackDown Shut Your Mouth for the PlayStation 2. Yeah, this was a game that I really did love a lot. I mean, this was the first SmackDown game that I really do remember like playing as a kid. Yeah, I really did love this game, playing this game a lot. Like, I really did like love the WWE product at the time. So yeah, of course, like I really did love playing the game. I mean, I really did like the controls for it. I did like how they did some like interesting things in this game. I did like how when you would like perform a finisher, the camera did like a 360 spin around it, which I thought was pretty interesting. Yeah, and they did like do some other cool things as well. Like of course, like the when you perform a finisher, like when you start to do it, like the SmackDown logo like comes onto the screen, and I do like how like just the SmackDown logo is blue when you do your own finisher, but in this game you can also like steal your opponent's finisher, and when you do that, the SmackDown logo is actually in red. So I did think that was pretty cool. And yeah, this game also did have like quite the number of matches for the time. This game had like slobber knocker matches, Iron Man match, last man standing match, a backstage brawl. So yeah, this game really did have like quite the number of matches to choose from. And I also really did like the season mode in this game. I did like how you actually did as the season mode started, you actually did like the draft. That you can like you choose to either be like Vince McMahon or Ric Flair during the draft and draft people for either Raw or SmackDown. So I did like how you could do that in the season mode, and also like if you play as Stone Cold in the game, like Stone Cold is still like a free agent in the draft, just like he was in the actual draft that year. And when you play as him, you can actually choose whether to sign for Raw or SmackDown, which was pretty cool that you could actually like choose which one to sign with instead of Stone Cold just like immediately just automatically choosing Raw like he did in real life. Yeah. And even like if you don't play a Stone Cold in the game, like he will choose Raw still. Yeah. Yeah, and the season mode overall was pretty good. You still did have stuff like the draft, as I said, and you also had like the NWO coming in, and yeah, other things like that that really did like take place in the WWE WWF that year. So yeah, so I did like the season mode, and yeah, it did have like a really good gameplay. So yeah, I just really did like this game, and it really was one of my favorite games of the SmackDown series. So yeah, so at number 5 is SmackDown Shut Your Mouth for the PlayStation 2. All right, at number 4 is Wrestlemania 19 for the Nintendo GameCube. So yeah, as I just said, I do like the first Day of Reckoning game, and that really is good. But yeah, I really do like this one more because I have like played a WrestleMania 19 a whole lot more than I have like Day of Reckoning, and I just have really like held this game in a really high regard. I just really have loved this game. Like the WrestleMania 18 game, I did like overall. I know that like some people really didn't like it, but and I thought it was just fine. But yeah, this one is still better. Yeah, I really just have really loved this game. I do love like the opening video of this game. I do like how it is kind of like a revised version of the actual opening of WrestleMania 19, where they do like use some footage of the actual opening, and they also like actually do have like some clips from like the actual event of WrestleMania 19. Yeah, but yeah, this game is just like really good. I mean, it really does have like some good graphics for the time. I mean, yeah, they really do look a lot better than they do in WrestleMania 18. And yeah, and the gameplay overall is like a really good too. I do like the gameplay a lot. I mean, yeah, like I was just saying with Day of Reckoning, I mean, yeah, this Day of Reckoning pretty much does have pretty much the same style of gameplay that this game does. Yeah. And yeah, I do like how like you're like when you like are able to like perform your finisher, you're pretty much like just invincible. Like if you get attacked, you just get right back up. Yeah, and I do like that about the game. But I also do like kind of like, and also not like the revenge mode that this game has, which is kind of like pretty much a season mode for the game where like you're just playing as a certain superstar, and like you're just taking out like a bunch of like staff for the WWE. Like you're taking out like security guards and construction workers, and yeah, just a whole bunch of people. And then yeah, at other times like a superstar will also show up. Yeah, I do like it because yeah, this like does like kind of show that this is a game, and this they I did like they were trying to do something different, but I also do kind of like not like it just because of like how hard it can get at times. Because I've been like playing through this like back when I was a kid, I played through it a lot, and yeah, I did like it kind of frustrating because as it progresses on, like it does, the difficulty does increase, and yeah, it does like kind of get frustrating that you can't complete like certain stages is when you want to. So yeah, that does get kind of frustrating, but I do overall like it, like the game overall. I mean, yeah, this game like did sort of like use some voiceover work in it. Like in the revenge mode, like you have Stephanie talking to you, and it is voiced over by Stephanie. And you also do like have like a tutorial mode in this game where like it's voiced over by Al Snow, and there's also a shop zone option in the game that's voiced over by Stacy Keebler. So yeah, this game like did kind of use some voiceover work, but it wasn't a whole lot. Yeah, but overall, like the game, I really did love it. Like, I was glad to get this game again just recently, and yeah, I have played it, and yeah, it just is a really, really good game, and it is like one of my favorite, not only one of my favorite wrestling games, but one of my favorite games on the GameCube in general. Yeah, I really do really love this game, and I just am glad that I own it again. I can be able to play it. So yeah, just I have really held this game in a high regard, and I just really love it. So yeah, number 4 is WrestleMania 19 for the GameCube. Right. Number 3 is WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64. Yeah, just like WrestleMania 2000. I'm sorry about like the rough definition, the labels. Then yeah, once again, just like I said about WrestleMania 2000, the game was like this when I bought it, so I apologize for the rough condition that the label is in. But yeah, just like WrestleMania 2000, I really do love this game a lot. I mean, I was able to like play this game briefly for like when I was a kid, but yeah, earlier this year when I got a Nintendo 64, I was able to find this game, and of course I did get it, and yeah, I've been able to play it again, and I really do love it a lot. I mean, of course, like there are like a lot of people that do hold this game in a very high regard, and like to like look at it as the greatest wrestling game ever, and I can see why. I mean, yeah, the top 3 games I have in this list, yeah, these are games I can like understand why people would actually say they are the greatest wrestling games ever. Yeah, I could see it for any 3 that I have now in the top 3 spots in this list. But yeah, I really do love this game as well. I mean, yeah, it is like it does act, of course, as a sequel to WrestleMania 2000, and yeah, yeah, and I really do love it. I mean, it really just really does like take what WrestleMania 2000 had and just really updated it and improved it. And yeah, the gameplay is just like still really great. It does have like quite a number of matches to choose from, especially for the time for a Nintendo 64 game. Like you got like a ladder match, you can be a guest referee. There's hardcore matches, yeah, cage matches, yeah. So there's like quite the number of matches to choose from in this game, and yeah, this game really does have a lot of things in it, the season mode in this game is pretty much like championship mode. Like you can just like go for any title at all, and each like title like has a different story for it. Yeah, and also like when you create a wrestler, like it is like really super detailed how you can make the wrestler be. So yeah, I do like that about the game. And yeah, and it does have like some, yeah, a lot of like nice features in it as well. So yeah, some really great gameplay, some really great features to it, nice graphics for the time. So yeah, a lot of people really have already talked about this, so I really don't think I really need to say much else about it, because I think a lot of you have already played this, so you know about it. So yeah, just a really, really great game overall, and it really would make sense why people would really call this game the greatest wrestling game ever. I can definitely see why they would feel that way. So yeah, so at number 3 is WWF No Mercy. All right. At number 2 is WCW NWO Revenge. So, yeah, I have already like just talked about this game in this video, and as well I put it, like, I said it was WCW's greatest video game ever back when I made the list of the 5 best WCW video games. So, yeah, I pretty much like already talked about this game. So, really, what else can I say about it? Like, if you really want to hear like what I really think about this game, just go watch that video I did of the top 5 best WCW games, and I really have already gone over like why I really do love this game a lot and why it is so great. Because yeah, I really just I love this game. I mean, I played it a lot as a kid. It was really one of the N64 games as a kid that I really did like always like play regularly. I mean, I just really have like really love this game, and I really am glad to own it again. So yeah, I really have already like I pretty much said why I love this game so much in that video of the top 5 best WCW games. So if you want to really hear why I love the game so much, just go watch that video. So yeah, I really don't think I need to talk about it here. So yeah, so at number 2 is WCW versus WCW NWO Revenge. All right. And at number 1, what I think the greatest wrestling video game is what I'm sure a lot of people would say is the greatest wrestling game ever. And that is Smackdown Here Comes the Pain for the PlayStation 2. So, yeah, like I said, this is a game that a lot of people have called the greatest wrestling game ever. And yeah, I would agree. I mean, that is just such a really great game. I mean, it was the first game to really have the Elimination Chamber in it, and it also had like other matches in it as well, like backstage brawls and the game like really did have a lot of matches to choose from. Like it had like bra and panties match, and it a Hell in a Cell, steel cage, fatal 4-way, guest referee, triple threat. I mean, yeah, it just goes on and on. Like, this game had a lot of matches that you could play. Yeah, and yeah, I just really did love this game. I mean, it really was like a step up in graphics from like Shut Your Mouth, and even like the graphics still like do kind of hold up today. I mean, they are like really, really good. And yeah, it just had really good gameplay, a pretty good roster for the time. Just like I was just talking about with No Mercy. I mean, everybody has already like really said like how great this game is and why it is really so great. So I mean, what else can I really add to it? I mean, yeah, if I did have like one drawback to the game, it's just like, why is the referee's pin count so freaking slow? Like, if you played the game, you like have seen like how slow the referee does count a pin in this game. Like, why is it so slow? But that's really like my only like true drawback to the game. Yeah, I do. Yeah, the game overall is still like really great. I mean, yeah, it does have a great season mode, and it does have like really good gameplay, and yeah, the Elimination Chamber is really good in the game, and just yeah, what can I really say about it? I mean, everybody has just said like why this game is so great. It just is like a true classic and has really just yeah yeah, a lot of people really do say that it is really hard to top this game, and I do agree. Just, I really don't. It really is like going to be like really hard for any game to really top this, and to this day, like of course, with me having this at number 1, no game really has topped it. It's still to this day. So, Here Comes the Pain was just an absolute classic for a wrestling game. So, yeah, at number 1 is SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. All right, and so there you guys go. There is my top 10 best of wrestling games of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. I'm sorry if like there is a game that you like that I didn't include on the list. Yeah, I know that people are probably going to be upset that Day of Reckoning 2 wasn't on here, but I already talked about that. Like, I really haven't played Day of Reckoning 2 in a long time, so I really don't have a very good memory to really include it on the list. So yeah, let me know what some of your favorite wrestling video games are. Comment it on my channel and tell me what some of your favorite wrestling video games are, especially like if I didn't include them on this list. Alright, so but I hope you guys did enjoy this list, and yeah, and like I said, stay tuned for my next video, where up next I'll be counting down what I think the top 10 worst wrestling video games are. So stay tuned for that video coming up next. But I hope you guys did enjoy this list, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.